All right. Good morning, West USA Realty and any non-West USA agents. We're happy to have you guys on board with us this beautiful Thursday morning. Back again once for another social media webinar. As you can see, we're going to be jumping into smart video, shooting smart video with your smartphone. When it comes to creating content, you have a very powerful device in your hand that can capture and take a lot of photography and videography, and you guys can do amazing things with your smartphone. And so this, what we're going to be covering this morning is, using your smartphone to create great content. And as always, we like to talk about a little bit about what's great about social media, and we'll be covering content creation, how to shoot high res imagery, uh, gear that you can get that's very inexpensive to help up the production value of your content, and then also some tips for you, and as well as some video ideas, things that you could be doing on a monthly or a weekly basis, and that will really establish yourself as a agent, an expert agent in a specific area or around a specific topic. And so, highly recommend taking advantage of that when you have a chance. After today, you can obviously visit all of our webinars, not only just mine, but all of them that we have here at West USA each and every week. We do record our webinars and upload to our YouTube channel. On our YouTube channel, under our training playlist, there is just a wealth of different content on there in regards to all different aspects of being an agent and how we can help you be an agent and obviously look and put your best foot forward. So, with that, we have each and every week we have a couple sponsors who like to, obviously shout out to them for being a great resource for our agents. And I believe Ron is on with us this morning. Ron Quain with American Title Service Agency. Ron, are you there? Okay, not sure. He's not mic'd up. So, all right, not a big deal. We're just going to plow right through it. Obviously, Ron over at American Title, they're a great partner of ours. They have a great team over there who have many locations throughout the valley, able to assist you guys with your needs. Great shout to them. There are reps within certain areas of the valley that you can connect with. They have a great resource for you and your real estate business, and also provide an awesome plethora of content creation, co-branded content creation for your social media. And so certainly look for them when you can. And also to Anthony Cucci with HCP Property Inspections. Great dude over there. Anthony and his team are awesome when it comes to home inspections. If you're looking for a great home inspector who many years in the service in the business, you can reach out to them and connect with them as well. I know that I've reached out to him for some needs for my home. Always has someone in his Rolodex of contacts that he can provide for you whenever with all different aspects of your home inspection. So with that, we're going to jump right into creating a amazing video content library for you guys. There's just a number of different avenues that you can go when it comes to creating video. I'm going to throw some stats at you. We're going to talk about why video is awesome. Whether you've been on my webinar before or any of my webinars, video is a huge component. And it's not just because I'm telling you so, or the industry is telling you so. It's the customer, it's the consumer, it's how we consume content is telling us that video is what they want. And that makes sense because video is highly retained. The messaging of a video is highly retained. And so whether you're thinking about doing it, apprehensive because I know a lot of folks don't like to be on camera, or you have a lot of self-doubt when it comes to the quality, or are you saying the right things? There's some tips and tricks and suggestions. If you don't like being on camera, we can navigate around that. So we're going to jump into what is a video business card? Basically, just think of a business card, but then making it in a video version. So it's going to talk about who you are, where you're at, can I get in touch with you, and then your video business card is going to talk about the differentiating factors and why you would be a real estate agent of choice. What should that business card include? How to create one, and then where should you post those videos when they're done? And of course, before they are done. We want to make sure we edit those. And there's a couple apps that I have suggestions for you, whether an app or a desktop software service. There's so many out there, and so we've navigated quite a few of them. And the most important thing is if you own a smartphone, you can create videos, and that's why I want you guys to really just get excited about this. In 2014, Mark Zuckerberg, owner of the CEO and president of Facebook, said that a lot of content will be consumed in the next 5 years. We're there now. This is 2020, almost 2021. It's crazy to think that this year is almost over. I know for a lot of us, if you're like me, I'm happy this year is almost over because what a year this has been. But I can tell you that a large amount of content that's consumed on social media, whether Facebook, Instagram, you name it, is video. Video is the number one medium of choice, and so people are consuming video at a great amount of a clip when it comes to spending time looking at their device. 45% of people watch more than an hour of Facebook or YouTube videos each week. I know that includes me, and whether it's learning about a product or a recipe on how to make something, or a cat video, something funny, you name it. There is a lot of content being uploaded to YouTube and Facebook on an hourly basis. It is amazing how much content is being uploaded, and people are taking to these devices, these mediums, to learn, educate, entertain. You can name a number of different reasons, and they're spending a lot of time on there. As I mentioned, 87% of online marketers are using video content. I can't think of a company that's not doing it. So video is very powerful. And so whether you're a Fortune 500 company or a small business owner or an entrepreneur, solopreneur, especially you guys as real estate agents, we don't have a lot of big budgets. We don't have tons of money to throw at to promote ourselves and run radio spots and TV commercials and print ads. But with that device in your hand and an amazing camera in it, it levels the playing field for all of us. So there's no reason why, with a little bit of practice and a little bit of pizzazz, that you can't get your content out there and start building an online presence through the use of video. 25 to 34-year-olds, your wheelhouse, the millennials right there, that age group watches a lot of content. The most content online, most of the videos online are being watched by that age demographic. There are a little bit of your older millennials, 38-ish and below. They make up the largest group of first-time home buyers. And so when they're learning about a product, service, a person, a style, a brand, they're using video in order to do that. And so it's going to be advantageous as you as a real estate agent to have content out there, because that's what they're looking for when they're vetting you out and learning about you and seeing that you have social proof, meaning that you're showing video content and it's showing that you are doing and know what you're talking about. And that's going to make them feel better about it, and they're going to make a better decision when they're hiring an agent. Over half of video content is viewed on a mobile device. This is true. A lot of video content is viewed on a mobile device. I mean, where was I at? I teach softball. I teach flag football. My kid's on a team. He's 7 years old, and practice got done, and we were all done with practice. We were walking off the field, and there was another team next to me practicing, and I just see this line of parents, naturally, just like for my team, but all the parents are just down looking at their phone while their kids started practicing. Now, I reflected back in the day when my mom would come to my practices and she sat there with a nice book and read her book. Well, now everyone's on their phone. So we're consuming a lot more content and varieties of content at an alarming rate. I mean, just so fast what we're consuming. And so 92% of mobile video viewers share those videos with others. So I'm reading a book. Whatever the topic of the book is one thing. I can visit multiple different topics and messaging and brands so quickly now. And when I find something that I like, I'm going to share that with a family member or a friend. And so if you're putting out good content and you're putting out high value content, video that entertains or educates or creates an emotion, people are going to share that with people that they feel would be entertained from that video. So native video on Facebook is 10 times more likely to be will be 10 times more higher shared. It'll reach more people. Facebook will promote their video that lives. When we say native, that means it lives on Facebook. You've uploaded your content directly to Facebook. Facebook hosts your video as opposed to YouTube, and or if you're sharing a YouTube link, Facebook naturally doesn't want people to leave their platform. So when you're using a link from a YouTube video, yeah, people are going to see it, but Facebook is much less likely to share it organically with your followers. So recommend whenever you upload video, make sure you're uploading it to both Facebook and your YouTube channel. And if you don't have a YouTube channel, that's a whole nother conversation. Certainly should have a YouTube channel. You guys need to use YouTube because A, it's free. B, it's the second most searched platform when it comes to finding content. Naturally, Google's number one. They have the most amount of market share and they own YouTube. So naturally, whenever videos, people are searching for how-tos or learning about something, they're going to go to their YouTube channel, their second visited most searched platform, because that's where the content lives. Viewers who will retain 95% more of the message when they watch a video as opposed to other forms of medium, like 10% for text or a stale static image. Video is going to be number one. So again, highly recommend that you take advantage of video. So transitioning into what is a video card. So when you have a video card, it's going to be a great way for you to introduce yourself. Hi, my name is Keith Flynn. I'm the Director of Digital Marketing here at West USA Realty. Been here for, almost 6 years now. So we're, number one privately held brokerage, and yada, yada, yada. So whatever your 30-second elevator speech is, I'm sure we're all familiar with that. Convert that into a video. So, instead of being in an elevator and someone's like, hey, Keith, what do you do? And you've got your spiel, get that on film. So get that on camera, get that recorded so that it lives on your social media, lives on your YouTube channel, lives on your website, wherever you have a digital presence. Get that introduction video out there so that people, when they discover you, they're learning about you and they're hearing it from you. Not just like reading some stale blog that you haven't updated in 2 years, or hearing word of mouth is great, but people want to learn more. And so when they have an opportunity at their leisure to discover your website, social media presence, you have all your stuff there and all your ducks lined up in a row, and people are learning about you at their pace. And then the next time you have a conversation with them, they've learned a lot about you, and they already kind of feel like, hey, I know this guy, and he's likable, and so I want to work with him. It's a great way for you to gain trust with your potential clients. Whether you are talking about yourself, or if you're not so comfortable with that, you could leverage your past clients to maybe share 30 seconds or 5 seconds about what it's like to work with you. And in that, people can see and hear from their peers, and it'll help build trust with you for you. It's a great way for them to learn about all the ABCs: who, what, where, why, and how. Who you are, what do you do, what is your wheelhouse, what's your differentiating factor, what is it you do that sets you apart from other agents? Where do you like to focus? Are you in the North Valley, East Valley, Gilbert, Chandler? Of course, I don't know any agents who wouldn't take a deal in the metropolitan or Phoenix area, greater Phoenix area. But if you have a strong area that you like to specialize in, let that be known in the video. Why they should hire you. What is your wow factor? What's the differentiating factor? What sets you apart? Maybe if it's a funny little, not many people know this about me, but I used to do X, Y, Z, or I have a hidden talent, or, something along that line. It's okay to be genuine, showcase your personality, because it's ultimately like that's what's going to make you likable. People are going to find you engaging. Some people may be turned off because you're a little overzealous or you're extremely animated. If you're like me or someone who's always on, so some people don't like to deal with people like that, and that's fine. But there's always somebody for someone. And when it comes to real estate, it's all about building relationships, and they can get to know you with your video card, your video business card ahead of time, so that when you do get a chance to get together, they already feel comfortable working with you, or at least taking that call or that initial meeting. So, as I mentioned, who, what, when, where, and why. Who are you? Introduce yourself, talk about your credibility and your experience. How long have you been an agent? What areas are your expertise? What are the benefits of your service? What are some of the challenges that you've helped past buyers and sellers get through? Through that knowledge and through that expertise, you've become a well-rounded agent, and this is how you can benefit a potential client. Where are you located? As I mentioned, where are your geographical areas? Where do you have a greater reach than others? Maybe there's some area you want to get into and farm a new neighborhood. And so using video to showcase your expertise in an area will make buyers and sellers feel comfortable about working with you because they know you know the neighborhood, especially if you have an out-of-state buyer, someone who doesn't really know the neighborhood, but your videos consist of great places to eat, great places to shop, outdoor spaces, splash pads, entertainment in the area. Using video to not only showcase your listings, just sold, just listed, blah, blah, blah. Use video to showcase your neighborhood, who you are, why you know the homeowners love this area, why you know the small business owner or the mom and pop pizzeria down the street. What's the number one menu item? And we'll get into some more tactics in that down the road here. How can they reach you? Each and every time you shoot a video, make sure you have a call to action at the end of your video. Tell them what you want them to do. If you would like to get in touch with me, you can call me at 602, and there's a little bit of an overlay at the bottom of the video, or your website. Mention how they can get in touch with you. I'd love to hear from you. Feel free to email me. My email is Keith, and then so on. So, tell them what you want them to take action on, a call to action at the end of your video. And then a bonus item for you guys there, share a success story. Just because your past clients may not be around anymore, whether you reach out to them and have them participate in your video, or they shoot a video real quick on their phone and then send that clip to you, and then you use that in your video. But showcase a past success story, some frequently asked questions, leverage a past experience and how you help them overcome it. Obviously, you don't need to put their names in there, but you can tell them a plethora of different things about the real estate business that will help them make a better decision or make an informed decision when deciding to work with you. So, how to create your video. Number 3 here. First off, plan your script. Now, I'm not saying plan a script as in write everything down that you're going to say verbatim, word for word, unless you're a really good reader and it can come off as feeling natural. Then I would recommend building on a script so that you know the bullet points: who, what, when, where, how. What are you going to say? And then kind of work through that speech. Get in front of a mirror or practice with some family or friends or a colleague or a coworker or team member, and just get comfortable with reciting what it is you want to share, so that when you're on video, it comes across as being genuine and has good energy. Using a video hacking. So one of the things that I like to do is if I see a video on YouTube or someone's social media and I like the way they did it, basically I'll just take that video, replicate it, but with me, with my vision, my message, whatever it is I want to share. And it's kind of like it's a video hack. It's an ethical way of life hacking something that somebody else has already done. Just like if you saw someone do an amazing backsplash or a front entryway, curb appeal, you see something you like, and so okay, I want to do that now. So there's no reason why you can't take something that someone's already done and then repurpose it, rebrand it for your message and your branding and your marketing needs. Use your bullet points to help you out with what you want to say and how and the flow in which you want to say it. And then just relax, be natural, have a lot of energy. It may feel a little unnatural, 10xing your energy while you're on camera, but that really comes through when a viewer is watching the content. Of course, don't be crazy like this guy here, trying to keep it from being weird, but it's okay to be excited, have great voice inflection, keep your hands in front of you, keep your hand movement minimal, but the easiest thing about creating a video is it doesn't always have to be about you on camera, but you can start with you on camera and then cut away to the home or cut away to the neighborhood that you're talking about as you establish your bullet points on what you like to share. I highly recommend number 2, making a shot list. This comes from any videographer in any industry who's shooting video. Making a shot list will help you out with when you get to the neighborhood, you get to the community or the home, you have an idea of where you want to shoot. So whether it's in front of the house, inside, showcasing beautiful shots, you're going to shoot videos. So pick a house, pick a community that's really going to wow your audience. And list out the 3 areas maybe in the home that you want to shoot. Or maybe it's 3 kitchens in 3 different homes, or whatever you have access to, completely up to you. One of the tips I love, I hear this from a couple of agents, and I've shared this before on many of my other content creation webinars, is a lot of agents I've heard go into a new build, a model home, an off hour, off day of the week. Just sign the book, go in. Hey, just looking at the new model homes. Take your tripod, take a camera in there, whatever you want to use, and use that staged home as a backdrop for your video. Now, whether you do some still shots or you do some video, obviously we know the power is going to be on, so we're going to get lighting. We're going to get a beautifully staged home. Interior design is going to look amazing, and your audience doesn't need to know the wiser. They may just think that's one of your past homes that you had listed. So use that backdrop as a way to kind of create some marketing materials for yourself and shoot your video in there as well. Now, when it comes to actually shooting your video, one of the stylizings that will really help you out is a nice focus. As you can see here, the girl in the center, she is centering the camera for a shot where she's just talking about the business, but the eye is focused and drawn to the center, and we're not most cameras have a nice little bouquet that will actually blur the sides and the background, but your eye is drawn to her in the center, because this is especially during your speaking piece, when you're sharing, people are going to look at you there. Being up against a flat wall like the gentleman in the bottom right there, that just doesn't really come off really well. You want some depth. You want to create some nice depth that will help with making a video look a little bit higher production, almost professional, without actually having to spend the money to do so. So that's a little technique for you too. And then the second one I like here is the rule of thirds. When shooting video, especially if you're going to be interviewing yourself or just shooting, this may sound like it contradicts the previous slide. And I know I'm using the rule of thirds example here of Jim from The Office in the bottom right, but you see how you've got 3 rows and 3 columns, and he's almost got the cross lined up on between his eyes and his forehead. Rule of thirds is a great suggestion for you there. Because if you ever want to create an overlay or maybe a graphic or a logo that would live just to the right of your head, you've got some space now. Your call to action at the end or your overlay for your email address can live just to the right there, much like you would see like on a news segment when the camera would pan a little bit to the left and then they would put the overlay of the holding card or a segment up on the right to the person's head there. So highly recommend shooting the rule of thirds. And on your cell phone, if you don't already, if you go into the settings for the camera, all of our cameras have the ability to turn on the grid. There is a grid setting in there. It's different for Apple and Androids, but I have my grid on. So whenever I'm shooting video, I'll try to keep the subject in the rule of thirds there, just off to the side. And especially if you have someone off camera interviewing you, you can look off camera and it looks natural, and that's a great style to use. All right, so as always, we have an opportunity for you guys to ask questions in the right there on that right side of the box. There is a box for you guys to shoot me a question. We are in a live environment, so you can obviously ask me anything that you'd like in regards to shooting video, using your smartphone, any technical issues, things you may have questions about. I'm happy to answer this for you while we're on our webinar. And of course, if you have any questions after the fact, you can always email me. I'm Keith, that's Keith, @westusa.com, and I'm always happy to jump in and take a call from you guys if it helps out as well. So some gear for you guys to consider when it comes to creating great content. I've got some inexpensive pieces up here for you, working our way around the horn there. Number one is definitely going to be a tripod. I carry a small little tripod with me. It has some bendy arms to it. It's flexible. I can curve the arms and let it hang on a tree or a cabinet. It expands my opportunity to really place the tripod anywhere. I highly recommend having one of those with you in the car or wherever you're at. If you ever want to take and shoot a video, you can set that up, have some nice stabilization, and whether it's on a counter or an island in the house, you can use the little tripod. It'll really help you out a lot, especially if you're going to be in front of the camera and interviewing somebody, then you know the camera's not going to move and we won't have you shaking. Number two, lighting, especially if you're in a home that may not have any power. You would love to do a little open house or a little walk and talk. whether that lighting is on a tripod or now they have little LED lights. I love the fact that technology has advanced to the point where lighting now is so condensed but yet super bright. They have lighting kits that can go onto your phone or can be on a gimbal as well, so you can illuminate the area in which you're doing a walk and talk throughout the house. And lighting is relatively inexpensive, and quite honestly, all this gear is inexpensive. I've found a number of different products on Amazon Prime that will keep your costs down and up your production value considerably. Highly recommend a microphone too, a plug-in lavalier microphone or a shotgun microphone. There's a number of different smartphone microphones that will help out considerably. They will cut out that ambient noise in the background. Maybe you're doing a video in a home that's near a roadway, and that'll help cut down that background sound. I just watched a video yesterday morning of one of our agents who was in a new build or a remodel. They're flipping the home, so all the walls are down. They clearly just finished some demoing, but he's considerably far away from the camera, and so the audio is lost. And so a little boom mic on your cell phone would be great. It'll actually shoot right at you, and it'll pick up your voice. But obviously, in certain environments, it's going to be hard to hear you. So a lavalier mic that plugs in, and they sell an extension, so you can go up to 25 feet, clip that up into the shirt, lapel, wherever you'd like, and then obviously you can get some great sound and be considerably far away from your camera. Microphones are big, so they'll help your audio production considerably, especially if you're going to do voiceover. There are a number of apps that allow you to do voiceovers as you edit the video, and then a lavalier mic will really help out as well. And the last one there is a gimbal stabilizer. That's the bottom right corner of your screen. There's also one on the left bottom of the screen there. A gimbal stabilizer is basically a motorized selfie stick, for lack of a better term. It's going to allow you to stabilize, and it will move and keep your camera floating. You'll get that really nice floating cinematic feel like you would see. You probably have seen some behind the scenes in movies where they wear a full-size chest harness, and this massive, 100-pound camera floats effortlessly as he runs behind or walks behind the main subject. So these are little versions for your cell phone. I have one, amazing. My wife just purchased one for her work. It was $89 on Amazon, highly rated. They're fun to use, and you can get some really cool shots, especially for you agents who are walking around. You'll take that shake out of your hand, and you'll just really give a nice, clean shot of the home. And what's nice is even if you don't want to say anything, you're just going to do like a walk around the home, and you add some nice music to it. You can really use and give that professional feel without spending the money. That's for sure. All right, so editing, big piece here. One of the popular apps to use to edit on your device is InShot. It's free to download. There's a watermark though. In order to unlock that, I think it's like $2.99 a month. But if you're cranking out videos, guys, I'm telling you, this is a great editing tool for you to use on your phone. You can trim video, you can cut video out. It's very user friendly and easy to use. It's very intuitive. There are a number of different videos that InShot has put out to help you learn their app. But you can merge clips, you can adjust the speed. So if you want to do something like slow motion, as I mentioned too, voiceovers is really big. A lot of agents, as I mentioned at the top of the webinar, don't like being on camera, but they don't mind talking and narrating what we're seeing. So use the voiceover element on this app. It's fantastic to do. They'll shoot all their shots in the house and then stitch them together. And then basically, once the video is done, you just start at the very top. You hit record to add a voice track or a bed. And then you just start talking about like if you're walking through the home. Over here is a beautiful foyer. On the right, you can see it's an open concept. And just talk through that, and your video is done. Upload that to your social media, and you've got great content about your property. Now, I know for a lot of you guys, when you list or add your listing to the MLS, obviously through Social Pics, Pic Social. We have a service provided here for you at West USA where they take your photography and they make kind of a slideshow, and then it lives on our YouTube channel. Well, once that listing falls off the MLS, the video goes away. So if you can, and every time you can, if you're in that home, take a few moments and make your own little video. Again, it doesn't have to be super produced, costly produced, but you can shoot your own little video, make your own little montage, your own little recap, so that that lives on your social media and it never goes away. And you can always refer back to that when people are asking you what kind of caliber of homes that you're used to and what you've used in the past. What program do you recommend for video editing for non-iPhone users? Great segue. Filmagore, right here, this you see up on the screen. Filmagore is a Android app. I believe it's desktop as well. They have had a number of versions of their software, but it allows you to do some awesome editing for your Android use as well. I have done it's always changing. You know, someone's coming out with a new software, or it was a crappy software and then they upgraded it, and so now it's like the one to have. I'm always Googling to see, best Android apps for video editing, best iPhone apps for video editing, best free ones. Just keep aware of what those apps are. I've set up some search agents through Google Alerts to notify me when someone writes or does a review about apps, so that I can get notified right as that review or that blog hits. And so kind of like being in the know about what's the hottest thing right now everyone's using. And especially these app producers every now and then will roll out a 1 day only, 75% off to download it, and just create some buzz. And so you don't want to miss out on those opportunities, especially for some of the apps that are a little more expensive than others. If there's a flash sale or a Black Friday sale on apps, which they do often, you won't miss out on that. So set yourself up an alert there for sure. Need a program to upload video, add music, add text, and has high resolution recommendations. Definitely got those for you. The two InShot's going to be great. Then Filmagore is really good. And then Spark, this third app is pretty fun to use. It's a little bit different than what we're traditionally used to when it comes to video editing. It kind of it's a fun one to play with, but download Spark. It used to be, well, it's free, but then they have a pro version like everything. They get you to download the app, and then they're like, oh, you want to use that feature? You need to upgrade to the pro plan for $2.99 a month. So that happens often, but still very cost effective to traditionally hiring a videographer for $500, $600, $700, $800 a pop. Spark is a cool one to use. You literally just hold your finger down and you'll see the little line start to grow. That's because it's recording. And then when you release your finger, the recording stops. You touch the screen again, the recording starts again, and adds another stitch or another clip to your timeline. In the editing, you can manipulate the clips, drag and drop, move those around with your finger. Really intuitive to use. Like all the apps, they've got some filters. So I wouldn't go crazy on the filters. You don't want to alter the look of the home too much. But if it's just you or something around the neighborhood, you want to do something fun, tons of filters in there as well. You can add music to this one, record voiceovers, and obviously you can share this content to your Instagram. They've got Instagram stories, dimensions for this Spark app. And so if you're a Instagrammer, someone who creates content for your stories, then you can quickly do that on the go and then link your account directly to it, and you can post from there. Uploading your video, get this question all the time. Where should I upload video? As I mentioned at the beginning, Facebook is going to be number one, especially uploading that to your business page. And then you can share that to your personal page from there, or to closed groups that you may be in, neighborhoods you're trying to establish yourself. YouTube would be second. Highly recommend creating a YouTube channel. Easy to do. Most of us already have a Gmail account, so it's available to you to create a channel. Once you create a channel, you can have all your content live on there, and then obviously your subject line can either be the address of the home, or you can create a playlist around any different topics, whether it's curb appeal, backyard remodeling, great places to eat in Sedona, just creating content for yourself about living, lifestyle, neighborhoods to fill in those slow times where you may not have a listing. There's no reason why you can't use video to give the impression that you are active and still establishing yourself as an agent who may have done a tour of a historical home or historical neighborhood, up and coming neighborhood, fill in projects. The goal for you guys as an agent is to be in the know, and you're showcasing that through the use of video. And so Facebook and YouTube are going to be your two best ones. Vimeo is another popular one. A lot of portfolios from videographers, they use Vimeo because Vimeo does have an extremely high res 4K. I mean, they all support 4K. Facebook does degrade their video content, unfortunately, because of storage space, but they degrade a lot of their content. You've noticed probably images, video. So consider doing both. That way, you've got a couple different places. If you're having a conversation with a client, and the client's like, "Hey, what are some things I can do to declutter my house?" If you've got a video like that on YouTube, send them the link directly then. But if they discover you on Facebook, at least you're in two different places. So, and of course, then Zillow Premier, if you're a Premier agent, definitely want to have your videos living there too, or share a link in. Realtor.com, your website, even BombBomb, if you're someone who's using BombBomb, you can use any one of these platforms to send out a link. Prime your social media, let them know that you've got a new video up. Take a screenshot from your video, post that. Just did a new video on 3 best splash pads to visit in Gilbert, and then share that around all your social media and start driving traffic to your new content creation. And as I said earlier, remember your video 10 times more likely to be seen, 10 times more engagement, because Facebook does love when you upload video to their platform. So 5 essential videos that I highly recommend for you guys to be doing on a monthly basis. And if it's not all these, at least one of them. If you haven't already, create an editorial calendar. Make sure you got an editorial calendar so that each and every week, 30 days out, you know what's coming up and what you need to be producing. The goal here for you guys is to create content, be constant, not consistent, be consistent, not constant. Being consistent, meaning you select Mondays, the first Monday of every month, you recap the stats for the neighborhood for the last 30 days. Or the last Friday of the month, you do a influencer piece or highlight a community member, business owner, nonprofit. And so you're conditioning your audience to look for that content each and every time on those days. And you can reinforce that in your video. At the end of the video, you're like, well, that's this month's small business owner spotlight. Be sure to join us the last Friday of every month, where we pick out a neighborhood business owner, to show a little love, whatever your spiel is. And if you know somebody or a business that you love to visit, that you would love to see me reach out to and showcase on our monthly community spotlight, message me in the DM and we'll reach out to them. So you're engaging your audience, and you're encouraging them to give you content ideas. And especially if you're putting out high quality content, high value content, that's really going to help build that audience. And so, interview a partner, team member, vendor, someone within your wheelhouse, your support team, people who, a loan officer, title rep, home warranty, shoot a video for your past clients. Something that you can do each year to increase the value of your home after you've bought, and then get with a contractor, and then get the contractor on video with you, and then they can give their tips on what they can do to increase the value of their home. The great thing about interviewing somebody and partnering with someone is, it kind of helps with that apprehension with being on camera by yourself, and it feels more natural when you're having a conversation with somebody, and then naturally the camera's just there observing while you learn tips and tricks and things that they can do. And then when that person is on camera with you, naturally they're going to want to share that with their friends and family. And so that's only going to help you grow your base, because people are learning about you by way of who you had on camera with you. So always a good tactic to have someone on with you and interview them. Monthly home improvement, influencer videos, market stats. I mean, there's a number of choices for you there. Tips and tricks, showcasing a nonprofit. We're getting into the holiday months, and this is, we're going to see I hope we'll probably see bell ringers. I don't know if that's going to be a thing this year, but nonprofits are looking for food donations. What can you do to generate food drive for your area? The holiday seasons are always a great time for the touchy feely videos and get people emotional and get them involved. So consider something like that on how you can help your local community. Again, for you guys as agents, it's a hyper niche. You need to get hyper focused and hyper niche in your neighborhood. A food bank in Sun City is not really going to be a thing for me. But if there's a food bank that services my neighborhood, then that's one I want to be involved in, because I know that I'm not only doing good for the community, but I'm doing good for my neighbor. And so, with those 5 tips, there's many other reasons why you guys could be shooting video, and maybe things you haven't thought of before. There's just so much content out there that you can really embrace. The thing is just doing it. Like, just don't get stuck in the thought process, paralysis through analysis. People overthink it. I got to have this, I got to have that. Just grab the camera, grab your phone, and go do it. That way you'll learn, and you always can make the choice if you want to put that content out or you didn't really like it. But at least you're working through the process and you'll get comfortable with it. And the next thing you know, you'll have a tripod in your trunk, throw your camera in there, pull up at a new job site and start talking about a new neighborhood that's coming in, and how fast the homes are selling, and at what rate, and opportunities for new home buyers. Testimonial videos, as I mentioned, anybody you've worked with in the past, get them on, have them send you a clip, give them a little coaching, what you'd like to see from them, and you can use their videos in yours as well. Neighborhood tours are huge. Naturally, listing videos. So you just listed new property, but try to be more than just listed, because those do tune a lot of people out, especially if I'm someone who's not really in the market, or there's no immediate intent to buy a home. Sure, I may be thinking about it 6 to 12 months down the road, but I'm more apt to watch your video because I'm learning about something in the neighborhood or in the area, and you become top of mind. I start to look for your videos. I start to enjoy your videos. And then the next time I do have a need, or I know someone who does, that guy Keith always does really cool videos. He knows this neighborhood. And, all of a sudden my brother wants to move here. And so I'm going to naturally remember you because you've put out great content, and I'm going to suggest you as an agent. Nonprofits are, again, a great community outreach. Announcing any of your community Zoom forums. So like maybe you're going to connect with, or I suggest connecting with, an HOA board for an area. Maybe you would like to get an HOA board member on, talk about what's happened in the neighborhood. What are some of the challenges they have going into the new year, or some things that they're working on, especially in light of COVID and everything that's happening. And then another opportunity for video would be dispelling myths about the real estate industry. Again, showcasing your knowledge and expertise through the use of video. So one of the big plays right now that everyone's trying to get into, or have been, or been successful, that a lot of agents aren't doing right now, is live video. Live video gets our attention because Facebook promotes live video considerably. If you go live on Facebook, there's awesome opportunity for you guys to get some immediate traction, audience, and engagement when it comes to video. Live video is going to be a big benefit for you. Engagement on live video is considerable. People see the notification, Keith's live, and they want to see quickly what's happening. So those first few moments where they jump onto a live video, you could be teasing them about an open house and something you want them to do. Encouraging people to like and comment as you're live. Hey, Keith, thanks for joining us. We're just going to go inside this house real quick. I've got an amazing backyard I want to show you guys. Let's just let a few more followers jump on. But before we do, let me show you guys this front driveway. It's amazing, the pavers they've got down. Really cool design. Whatever you're doing to tease your audience, to get more people on the video and drag them along with you through the live video presentation, you can encourage and talk to them. I mean, they're there. They're live. So have a conversation with them. Like, hey, what's going on, Betty? How have you been? Thanks for joining us. Hey, we're going to go inside real quick. I want to show you this amazing backsplash. Number one, Facebook recognizes on social media that live video is what people love and they want to see, and so they're going to cast that out to your audience really quickly. And And live video statistically has shown to increase engagement with your audience. And of course, Facebook is being the number one platform right now. Everyone's on it and consuming a lot of content. The average Facebook user logs on 6 to 10 times a day, adding up for a total of 40 minutes of consumption. So they're on there. And so it's important for you to be there as well, and especially when you're using video. Minimal time investment for potential buyers when it comes to using video. They're not needing to go out of the house. They can see your live. They can look at a neighborhood. No need for them to travel. Especially during COVID with social distancing, a lot of agents are leveraging video to get their message out and never have to worry about like meeting up with anybody or asking a homeowner, can we come into the house? Some homeowners have been reluctant to. And so a lot of agents are using some cool tactics in order to go live, not from the house, but from their own home. And I'll get into some details on that one. What's awesome about live video is it saves. So when you're done, it saves into your account. So, you're not doing two things. You're not shooting one, recording it, and it stores on your Facebook page. When you go live, as soon as you're done, it's there for you to recall and share again with potential people, with buyers and sellers. Building your brand and your social presence is a huge plus when it comes to live TV for sure. So there's two kinds of open houses. One I kind of referenced to already. First one obviously is natural, walk and talk. You're in the home. You're in the actual home itself, walking around, talking about the atmosphere, talking to your online audience, bringing them in, sharing them what's neat about the house. Now, the tip for you guys, don't show them everything. Show them just enough to get them excited so that the conversation can continue offline or online, DM, whatever. And then, scheduling a viewing or, getting them in the conversation to learn more about the house. But you can talk to your audience, call them by name, ask them questions. Hey guys, if you're looking to move in the area, go ahead and hit yes or no in the comment section. If you know someone who's looking to move in the next 6 months to a year, hit yes or mention yes. I'll go back into the comments and I'll DM, direct message that person, and then have that conversation, build that relationship from there when you're going live from a home. The other version, as I mentioned, going live from your home. So, grab your photos, your flyers, if you have any video, details about the home, anything you have on the MLS, put all that into a folder on your computer, and then go live from your desktop on Facebook, and then you can share your screen from your computer and then jump into your folder and show those photos, talk to your audience, go through a slideshow, play them a video, talk about the home as if you were in it, but you're doing it from the comfort of your home, and you're just sharing your computer screen and taking them through the process. You are able to answer any questions they have about the open house or the house in that environment, and encourage them to ask questions. Ask them some questions about where they live now, or what amenities they're looking for. Are they looking to upsize or downsize? Are they expecting, are they going to grow their family? Things that they may not be sharing right away. But if you ask them questions, you get to know your audience in the comment section while you're live from your computer at home. So great thing to consider. Screen sharing is an awesome chance for you to do that, whether it's Zoom or Facebook Live. I highly recommend using that tactic when it comes to shooting live video. So that's kind of the basics of creating your video from your smartphone, and then obviously a little tip there for you when it comes to going live. Using your phone, highly recommend maybe considering a web camera as well for your home shoots. I know a lot of laptops come with cameras built in, but for the most part, they're still pretty 720p and lower. So I purchased a 1080p camera, a nice little webcam that sits on top of my screen for like $40-50. They were hard to find there for a minute because everyone was realizing that we had to go live from home. We were doing Zoom calls, working from home, but I have seen inventory levels replenish. So you can probably grab yourself a nice Logitech a C920. That's the one I have, a couple years old, but still a great camera to use. And from pretty much anywhere, all you need is an internet connection. Jump on, go live, start talking to your audience and building those relationships and taking them offline, getting them in the CRM, and obviously connecting with people at scale. Because we're still, a bit apprehensive to go out in public and shake hands. We're all minding our social distancing, and so leveraging video conferencing, and getting your message out through social media is definitely going to be a good play for you guys. So, like I mentioned, if you have any questions or comments or concerns, feel free to email me. I'm Keith at westusa.com. And like all of our webinars, they are recorded for you. You can find them on our YouTube channel. And next week, we're going to be going through Instagram basics for real estate. So next week's class, 10 a.m. Thursday here on the 15th. Instagram basics for those of you who are interested in getting an Instagram, kind of cover just the basics of like getting you set up, your profile, how to use it, some little tips and tricks for you there. And of course, as you can see, I'm on social media. However you'd love to connect with me, I do have the Flynn Media Group, a little bit of a side thing I've been doing for a number of years. But of course, I'm on Instagram and LinkedIn for sure. So connect with me. Love to follow you. I'll follow you back. And of course, like always, if you have any questions, please let me know. Happy to help out. With that, have a great day. You guys be safe, be kind to one another, and we will see you next week.